Training number 23. Here we go. This one is how to win every argument. So, if any of you don't know me, I'm Meredith Holly. I am a lawyer, power dynamics facilitator, and best-selling author, and I help employees stop sexual harassment without quitting their jobs. So, today I want to talk to you about how to win every argument. I know I talk to a lot of people who don't like conflict, and so if something comes up that feels like conflict, they freeze. And then I think we've all had this experience where you freeze and don't know what to say, and then the next day in the shower you think, oh, that was a perfect comeback, I should have said that, or here's the answer, this is why I'm right. And it's so frustrating. I even had a client, though, like I think that those situations are frustrating, but like what I see every day is that sometimes when we're in that situation of not knowing how to deal with conflict, not knowing how to win a conflict, it can even become really dangerous, where we're feeling like we have to take ourselves out of situations because there's somebody that we're in conflict with in the situation. I had this one client who this man sort of cornered her, and he like touched her in a way that didn't feel appropriate to her, but then she was very afraid of him after that, and she felt like if he was ever in the lunchroom, she couldn't go in the lunchroom, she didn't know what to say, and she started sort of avoiding all of these places because she was so afraid to even be in the presence of what felt like conflict for her. And that ended up almost costing her her job, right? And so when we're worried about conflict, when we don't know how to win an argument, it sometimes it doesn't feel like a very serious situation, but other times it can turn into something where we are really feeling limited in our environments and like we don't know how to take care of ourselves. And so this is just a 5-step process, a win every argument process that I sort of naturally go through when I'm in, like, I talk to lawyers every day, we disagree about everything all the time. And so this is sort of the process that I go through in my mind when I'm in an argument with somebody, to stay in my integrity, but also to represent my position in a way that feels good to me and that I find often is persuasive to people. Okay, so here's how to win every argument. So the first step is to identify any place of defensiveness that you have. Anywhere that you feel defensive is a place that you've turned against yourself and limited your ability to see your options. So defensiveness, anytime you feel that, get really still with it. And even if it's not in the moment of the argument, later, do some writing. Ask yourself why you were feeling defensive. Defensiveness is a sign that you've turned against yourself, that you are not on the side of your own argument. I know it feels weird, and defensiveness is something that we normalize. But for example, if I said to you, my wall is purple, you probably wouldn't feel defensive, but you would also probably not agree with me, right? But it wouldn't feel like a personal attack, very likely, because it wouldn't be something that you're attached with. And so what I often see is if somebody got really defensive about me saying my wall is purple, there's something going on there where they're giving a lot of credit to my opinion about the wall. And what you usually see this with is, what I see this often with is harassment experience at work. So for example, so a person reports harassment, and then to HR, and HR confronts the person accused of harassment, and he has a different story. And then HR comes back to the person who's reported, and HR says, well, isn't it true that you, on Tuesday, you were actually nice to this guy? And then the person who reported says, no, I was never nice to him. I've never been nice to him before in my life. it makes it sound as though if they establish that she was nice to him, it justifies harassment, right? So you have a harass. Okay, so say somebody puts their hand on your shoulders and you report to HR. And HR comes back and says, well, weren't you nice to him though on Tuesday, and on Wednesday he put his hand on your shoulders? And you say, no, I've never been nice to anybody in my entire life, right? It totally derails the conversation from the fact of the hand on the shoulders. Like, you can be nice and have somebody put their hand on your shoulders in an inappropriate way. So the defensiveness derails things in a different direction than where you want to go. It's someplace where you've said, maybe I'm doing something wrong internally. So the first step is notice any place of defensiveness. The second step, after you've resolved defensiveness, is look for facts, neutral facts that like don't have any description in them, no adjectives, no adverbs, but facts that you agree on with the other side, the other person in the argument. Try to find any fact that you agree on. So I think the wall is gray, you think the wall is purple. Do we agree that there's a wall? Like, where's a place where you do agree that's just a fact? Purple, gray, we don't agree, but we do agree that there's a wall. Nice on Tuesday, not nice on Tuesday, we don't agree. Can we agree there were hands on the shoulder, right? So look for a place that you do agree. And then third step, identify the outcome that you want. Be very specific about the measurable outcome that you're looking for. That's the reason that this conflict is relevant to you. So, for example, with the purple wall, gray wall issue, are we talking about painting the wall red? Does it really matter if it's purple or gray now? Maybe it does for painting the red. Why does it matter, right? What's the outcome that we want? For the hands on the shoulder issue, what is the outcome the person reporting wants? They want to not be touched in the workplace, or they want the person to be fired, or what is the result? But if the person was fired, what would that do for them? What do we want as the outcome for ourselves? I want to feel safe at work. I want to not be touched at work, right? That makes it irrelevant whether you were nice on Tuesday, right? So you want to identify the outcome so that you can see what is relevant to the measurable outcome you want. Then you want to ask yourself, how am I giving the other person's opinion more weight than the outcome that I want? That's step 4. How am I giving them power over my outcome, giving their opinion power over my outcome, right? So we want to be aware of any place that we're giving their opinion more power than the outcome that we want. And then if you are giving their opinion some weight, do you like your reason? Just make sure that you like your reason for giving their opinion some power. So sometimes if I'm going out to, this is a silly example, but if I'm going out to dinner with a friend, I really want to go to get a burger and they really want to go get pizza. And I do want to give their argument about pizza some weight. I like my reason for giving their opinion some weight. I like the idea of listening to their opinion and that being more important than the burger that I want, right? Because I love them and the more important thing is the relationship. In a situation where the result we want is not being touched at work, having our bodies respected at work, probably other people's opinion are not as important as that outcome that we want, right? So I'm going to go through the steps again, 5 steps. Check for any defensiveness. 2, look at the facts you agree on. What is one place that you can agree? 3, what is the outcome you want? 4, how are you giving the other person's opinion more weight than the outcome that you want? And 5, Know if you like your reason for giving the other person's opinion more weight than the outcome that you want. All of these should be really measurable and tangible. Write them down. You don't have to know in the moment of an argument about this, but as you practice it, it's easier and easier to have defensiveness be a sign that you're giving the other person power over the outcome that you want instead of choosing the outcome you want and going for it no matter what. All right, you guys, as always, send any questions. Let me know what questions you have, and I'm going to be back in a minute with training 24. Thank you.